and to the republic for which it stands. Man, we've been saying that line for years, since we were kids, remember? But despite that, where do we get this notion that we're a democracy? I'm a conservative Republican because I recognize that we enjoy a constitutional republic, not a democracy. Yes, we do employ democratic processes, but you can also employ pickles on your hamburger. It's still a hamburger. It doesn't make it a pickle sandwich. If I may suggest, please research the difference between a constitutional republic and a democracy. Now notice I say conservative first because it's very important that we conserve the ideas and principles and stuff in our founding documents. Now y'all being conservative is hardly the same thing as stifling. In other words, if you're gonna cut down a tree, you plant 3 in its place. Man, I can hear the liberals now. What a hypocrite! You're talking all that conservative crap, and look at all the land that we've raped and the trees that we've cut down. Ah, we're so sorry, trees. Y'all, there are more trees in America today than before America was founded. A tool that we have in protecting our constitutional republic is in the First Amendment. That would be the freedom of speech. Now, a lot of people take that to mean that you have the right to say the most shocking things you want to say to anybody who will listen. Which is fine, but in principle, it's your right to speak out against your government should you feel your government is getting out of line. Now, should these tools found in the First Amendment stop working to maintain our constitutional republic, we have a special tool called the Second Amendment to protect our constitutional republic. Recently, more than half of this country has made a declaration of dependence, stepping far away from our initial declaration of independence. When voters say, oh, I'm not going to have to worry about filling up my gas tank anymore, that is a declaration of dependence. The thing I would like for y'all to understand is you can't be dependent on someone without allowing them to control you. And the more dependent you are on someone, the more control they have over you. You know the term, being in somebody's pocket, and you don't want to be in somebody's pocket. Y'all, the government's job is not to provide for us, but to protect us so that we can go get the provisions that we need. Now, of course, you got liberals who keep trying to expand the government's protections, where the protections start to blur into provisions. America was once powerful because of its people, unlike countries like Russia or China that are powerful because of their governments. What made us the greatest country in the world was the people all over the world who came together on this land to be a people. We the people made this the greatest country on earth, not the government. And we were forced over here. Number one, nobody forced you over here. Number two, nobody's forcing you to stay. As I was saying, when the government gets too powerful, one thing they start to become is very oppressive. And of course, this oppressive nature will cause it to subtract power from its people. One of those powers will be our guns. Y'all, all throughout history, oppressive ruling bodies do not like for their people to be armed. And who's trying to whittle away the Second Amendment? Democrats. They'll try to tell you things like guns are the cause of violence and stuff. Yes, guns often play an instrument in episodes of violence. But guns more often deter episodes of violence. Banning guns will not help. It will make the situations much worse. Keeping law-abiding citizens from getting guns will only embolden criminal confidence. And do you think banning guns is going to stop criminals from getting guns? The very nature of a criminal is to get things illegally, remember? Banning guns will not make it more difficult for criminals to get guns. If anything, it's only going to give more power to the black market. And of course, it is because of this oppressive nature, I don't think we should be made to register our guns. I do, of course, believe that you should have a permit and you should be trained in whatever weapon that you want to get. See, a criminal ain't going to go through all that. So yeah, of course, have your permit. It's okay if the government knows that you know how to use a particular weapon, but it's foolish to let the government know how many of that particular weapon you have. Y'all, it's very foolish to assume that our government can't become so oppressive. But I gotta say, it's even more foolish when you got people who think we're living under tyranny right now. Man, I can't stand it when people try to draw the comparison between America and places like Iraq under Saddam Hussein's rule. You got people that believe that America is the oppressive force and Saddam Hussein was the victim. Y'all, Saddam Hussein's regime murdered people. But you got people that don't see it that way. They see Saddam Hussein as a man who's just trying to keep control. Okay, so in trying to maintain order, you kill your people. They say, come on, man, what do you think would happen if a group of people decided to run up on the White House? Oh, yeah, man, I'll tell you what happened. Oh, man, for real, there'd probably be some tear gas, not that wimpy stuff like nerve gas that Saddam Hussein was using. Oh, man, I bet they'd bust out with some beanbag guns, oh, and some tasers. Not that sissy stuff like tree shredders. Yeah, and if someone get bruised up a little bit, man, they'll get taken to the hospital. Unlike Saddam's regime, who took their prisoners to some stupid torture or rape chamber. Even back in more bigoted days when butthole Bull Connor, a Democrat, by the way, was hosing black people in Alabama, governed by George Wallace, another Democrat, by the way, it ain't as bad as being cut down by automatic weapons. Y'all, the United States of America has become the most benevolent nation on earth. To be a liberal Democrat is to see everything as a mess and assume that you can clean up every mess by trashing it. Now, of course, me defending America makes me naive and blind to how rotten and corrupt this country is. Alright, well, I think you're naive and blind to how great and benevolent this country is. Oh, not only am I naive and blind, I'm uneducated, poor, and stupid. I guess that would qualify me as the little people. You know, the ones that you liberals claim to be for. The truth is, y'all, the liberals are not champions for the little guy. They look down on us. Liberals see us as losers, and that's all we'll ever be. Liberals try to tell you it's the little guy that matters. You know, the guy who meets you at the grocery store or who hands you your food at the fast food restaurant. These are the ones we care about. These are the Americans that matter. And then when you tell them that unemployment was holding at about 5%, the first thing out of their mouth is, well, yeah, that's for a bunch of stupid jobs, like people who worked at McDonald's or at a grocery store. For a little guy, huh? If I'm so stupid, what does that say about you? You're the one who keeps watching. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me, but if I don't like something, I don't continue partaking in it. I don't like Keith Olbermann's show. I've seen his show. I did not like it. I do not watch it. I do not spend my time doing things I do not like. I can't believe that people accuse me of deleting comments. Anybody can go and look at any of my row of comments and find some hatred there. I don't delete those comments. And if I didn't delete their comments, I most certainly didn't delete yours. I don't come over to your page trying to draw attention away from what you have to say. You come over to my page because nobody's paying any attention to you. So you come and try to leech off of some of mine. I got these elitist liberals downplaying the fact that I have a GED and they can't even do the math to get my age right. And don't try to tell me that you're making an approximation because that just makes you lazy. These so-called peace-loving, tolerant liberals get so mad that they want to challenge me to fight. Tell me where you live, I'm gonna fight you. You're gonna beat some sense into me, huh? And we Republicans are supposed to be the oppressive warmongers. Number one, I reckon the only thing you can punch hard is your keyboard. Number two, if you don't show your face on the internet, I doubt seriously you're gonna show your face in a fight. So quit trying to invite me to one. Y'all, I am hardly interested in getting in a fight with somebody. See, the reason why you angry folk keep coming over here is because I've got some truth shining over here. And y'all are like a bunch of moths that see the light and don't know what to do with it, so you start slamming your face into it. So by all means, please, leave your comments. I leave them up there for a reason. One, because I'm not intimidated by them. Two, so people can see who you are. So people can see the condescension and elitism. So they can see the ones who truly look down on other people. So they can see where the real hatred comes from, where the real bigotry comes from. Now I got some liberals trying to attack me again because I have a donation button on my website. You have a donation button? I thought you were against spreading the wealth. No, y'all, spreading the wealth or socialism is when the government takes your money for somebody else to go take advantage of. The government is not taking yours or anybody else's money to donate to me. If people donate to me, that is by their own choice. Y'all, throughout history, there's always been the have and the have-nots, and no country has done more to close the gap between the have and the have-nots than the United States of America. I'm a conservative Republican because capitalism makes that possible. Y'all, capitalism works because it's conducive with our nature. Socialism doesn't work, y'all, because it goes against people's nature. Y'all, we're all different and we aspire to different levels. Y'all, when people are allowed to keep their money, they spend more money and businesses have more hiring power. Socialism is the exact opposite, and that's what you're trying to push us towards. I'm a conservative Republican because in our constitutional republic, we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now notice that life is mentioned first because it's pretty important. You can't have the other two rights without it, you know. They don't give you that crap about how do you be pro-life and then pro-death penalty at the same time. Child in the womb, innocent human life. A person who has murdered or is in the process of murdering has forfeit his right to live because that person is in violation of another human's right to live. Our labor should not be taxed, only our consumption. We'll get into the topic of avoiding double taxes in another video. Or in the liberals' case, the double, triple, quadruple tax. In terms of the bailout for GM, man, y'all should have got out from underneath the unions a long time ago. Unions are great for union workers, I suppose, but they make products and services very expensive for everybody else. Another problem that GM had, as far as I'm concerned, is that they tried to appease self-righteous, sanctimonious environmentalists by making those hybrid cars. The whole environmentalist global warming thing is a joke, fad, and y'all played right into it. In terms of the Barack Obama birth certificate thing, look here, y'all. Barack Obama is my president. There are people who have time, money, resources to go after Barack Obama and prove whether or not he's legit. If they can find it, more power to them. I, on the other hand, prefer to invest my time in promoting what it is to be a conservative Republican.